What a wild few days this has been. Pete Alonso is back with the New York Mets on a 2-year, $54 million deal. Jalen Brunson balling out with the Knicks. And the New York Rangers with the superstar trade, bringing JT Miller back home from Vancouver. We're going to talk about all that right now on Mozarsky Memos, episode 28. Let's do it.
There we go.
There's no better way to start than the New York Mets, who on Wednesday night re-signed Pete Alonso to a 2-year, $54 million deal with opt-outs after year one. Pete Alonso getting $30 million after year one, 24 in year two, if he decides to stay. Now, this is a really good deal for Alonso. Is it below his value? Yes, but he is the highest paid first baseman in the MLB next season. He's making more than Cody Bellinger. He's making more than Vladimir Guerrero Jr. He's making more than Bryce Harper. And I think this was a really good deal. And similar to a bunch of Scott Boras clients, it gives the client a chance to perform. You saw this with Cody Bellinger with the Cubs when he signed a 3-year, $80 million deal. And then he played well, decided to opt out, got more money. Blake Snell, Sean Manaea, other guys, they do this. And these pitching prospects. Is it bad that Pete Alonso didn't take that 7-year, $150 million contract from the Mets last year? Yeah, sure. But now he has a chance to perform and he'll have really good lineup protection to do so. So I'm gonna give this deal a B plus for Alonso and Boris. It took way too long, and Steve Cohen sitting down was definitely a main reason for it. In terms of what this means for the Mets, there's a few things, and I talked about it on my TikTok. One, if Pete Alonso stays healthy, he is going to be the Mets' all-time home run leader. He's going to enter the 2025 season only 26 home runs behind Darryl Strawberry for tying the record. Strawberry's at 252, Alonso's at 226. And every full season Alonso has played, he's had over 34 home runs. Everybody knows he's a home run once he gets up to the plate. So if he stays healthy, he's going to be the Mets all-time home run leader, and that's just a sentimental value in itself for any Mets fan like me or anyone because this is a homegrown talent. When Steve Cohen did his introductory press conference for the owner of the New York Mets, the one quote that stuck with me, and I've said this to a lot of people, we don't buy championships, we build them. And that is exactly what they're doing. Sure, the Mets, yeah, they have the richest owner in baseball, Juan Soto, highest contract in professional sports. I'm not denying the fact that the Mets are giving people a lot of money. But you bring back Alonso, this homegrown talent who's been the center of this team, 30 plus home runs every year, led the entire MLB in RBI a few seasons ago, had one of the biggest hits in Mets history. They were down 2-0, only a few outs away from their season ending. Hits a 3-run home run in game three of the NLDS. That's a homegrown guy. And it would have sucked to lose him. And I understand the idea of if another team was going to overpay for him, then he would have left. But they're bringing back a homegrown guy who's going to help them compete for championships. And that is really good. And second, I think this finalizes the Mets lineup. There is no way to pitch around the New York Mets. Without Pete Alonso, the Mets lineup was still good. They were still top 10 in the MLB. There was no doubting it. With Pete Alonso, just listen to this, right? You start off with Francisco Lindor, then Juan Soto. I think Mark Vientos is opening day number three. He had 27 home runs, 71 RBIs in 3 quarters of a season. Great postseason last year. Alonso at four, so he's not the immediate lineup protection for Juan Soto, which was a worry for a lot of people. Then you keep going on. Brandon Nimmo, five. Jesse Winker, six. Jeff McNeil, seven. Probably Jose Siri or Francisco Alvarez, eight. And then you got the other guy, nine. That is a really good lineup. It's really hard to pitch around it. And especially that top five or even that top seven, you have guys who have all had 20 home run seasons in their career. The New York Mets lineup, looking at it right now, out of those nine guys I've named, eight of them have had over 20 home runs in their career, at least in a season. Besides uh, Alvarez, or it actually might be eight, 9 out of 9 now that I'm looking at it. It is 9 out of 9. The New York Mets have pop in their lineup. It's impossible to pitch around them. Are they the Los Angeles Dodgers? No, the Dodgers are an absolutely ridiculous team. But when you go to the New York Mets, the Mets, what they were really, really good at last year, even if they struggled when they faced the pitcher the first time around, they figured him out as the game went on, whether it was in the bullpen, whether they were able to get the pitcher out, and that's what made them special. The thing that really stuck with me for the Mets was that NLDS Game 4 against the Phillies. Ranger Suarez pitched a great game. The Mets could not get to him. They got the hits, but Suarez was able to get the critical outs. He had a high pitch count. The Mets were able to work him. Phillies bring in a bullpen guy, Estevez, Francisco Lindor, grand slam. One of the biggest hits in Mets history. Mets move on to the NLCS for the first time in 9 years. The Mets, there's a reason they were top five in the MLB and top five in the NL in home runs, and it's only going to get better because you have Lindor, 30 home runs, second in MVP voting. Juan Soto, 40 home runs last season, best on base percentage in the MLB. You know what Juan Soto brings. Pete Alonso is going to have over 30 home runs. Mark Vientos, who knows what he could be. Jesse Winker's a really good fit in this lineup. Brendan Nimmo over 90 RBI this season, or last season, excuse me. Jose Siri, 17, 18 homers. He has pop. You know that. Jeff McNeil had a bad season, but he was good in July, August before he got hurt. Francisco Alvarez, same. He was hurt, came back, was able to hit, had some crucial hits like that walk-off home run against the Orioles. I think this was the last piece that makes the New York Mets offense one of the most formidable in the National League. And I'm not going to say that they are the Los Angeles Dodgers. I think the Los Angeles Dodgers are just a team of their own. But I think this puts the New York Mets right up there. And I think they're going to be a team that hits a lot of home runs, scores a lot of runs. And they were that without Pete Alonso. But now that they have him, they are damn scary. And you better know that. My final note on the Mets before I talk about the Rangers and Knicks. They have pop, they have stars. Their pitching is the biggest worry right now. They don't have a clear-cut number one. Sean Manaea and Kodai Senga are both 1Bs in my eyes. Both have to be aces. Behind them, you got guys like David Peterson, Frankie Montas, Clay Holmes, Griffin Canning, whoever you want to put there. Pitching is the biggest concern on this team, but offensively, they are so, so scary. And any concern you have, throw it out the window right now because it's sure to be exciting. If I was going to tell you 2 years ago that Francisco Lindor, Pete Alonso, and Juan Soto, all of who have been top five in the league in RBI, home run, MVP voting, whatever you want to throw there, that's really scary. And you can make a legitimate argument that this is like the second best top three in baseball. Moving on, 1 week ago today, I'm recording this on Friday, February 7th. The New York Rangers traded for JT Miller, the superstar from the Vancouver Canucks, former New York Rangers draft pick. He was selected with the 15th overall pick in the 2011 NHL draft. JT Miller is home and he has played 3 games for the New York Rangers so far. Rangers are 2-1 in that wins over the Boston Bruins and the Vegas Golden Knights. Their loss to the Boston Bruins last Saturday, but Miller had 2 goals in his debut too, one in the first period, one in the third period. Let me start it with this. JT Miller is everything, and I mean everything the New York Rangers core did not have. Any concern that the New York Rangers core had, or any concern that you had with the New York Rangers core. They were soft. They didn't get in on the forecheck. They didn't shoot. They couldn't make the crucial passes. JT Miller does all of that. He's hard nosed. He's one of the best passers in the league. He shoots the puck so well. Had 6 shots in his debut. There's a reason why this guy is a point per game scorer in the last 3 seasons. In his last 3 full seasons with Vancouver, he has 99, 82, and last season he had 103 points. Miller, too, is a point per game player this year. I'm pretty sure he's at 39 points in 41 games. I got to check that. So someone fact check me on that. JT Miller is everything the New York Rangers have or did not have. And speaking of what he brings on the ice, he just brings another hard-nosed attitude that the Rangers need. I mean, look at the 3 games. I know it's a small sample size. He has 4 points and he's getting in on the forecheck. You talk about the other night against the Boston Bruins. The game's 0-0. Neither team's getting a lot of chances. JT Miller gets in on the forecheck. Mika Zibanejad makes a play, gets it to Artemi Panarin. 1-0 Rangers. Golden Knights on Sunday night, right? Miller, he passes 2 assists, I'm pretty sure. He's been really, really good. And he's everything the Rangers need. And you see him already cementing himself in this New York Rangers leadership core, and he's going to be here for a while. The trade, I thought it was a really good one for New York because I think what people don't understand about the New York Rangers is they're not lacking a bona fide superstar because they have a bunch on their team, right? Igor Shesterkin's one of the best goalies in the league, if not the best. Temi Panarin had the best season of his career last year. He's playing out of his mind this year. He has some tough games, yeah, sure. Vincent Trocheck, Alexi Lafreniere could be that. They have a lot of stars. Adam Fox, forgot to say him too. JT Miller puts this team over the hump and makes them a legitimate playoff contender and a team that could do damage in the playoffs. But at the same time, with the hole the Rangers have dug themselves in with really bad months like December and starting mid-November when they won 4 out of their 20 games and fell behind, they dug a hole and now they're in this playoff race, and that's why every point is crucial for the New York Rangers. Talking more about the trade in general, the Rangers got Miller and prospects Elias Brandstrom and Jackson Dorrington. I guess you shouldn't call Brandstrom a prospect. He's played some NHL games for centerman Philip Hedl, defenseman Victor Mancini, and an and a protected first round pick. So here's what I think. I love Philip Heedle. I think he is going to be a star in this league. But for JT Miller, you had to trade him. Heedle is under contract for less time. With the NHL cap going up, Miller's not going to be a casualty. He's under team control till 2030. And there are some questions surrounding Philip Heedle. I saw someone say he's one hit from his NHL career ending. No, I do not believe that. But he has had a lot of upper body injuries. They'll never disclose that they're concussions, but we're pretty sure they are. And he struggled to stay on the ice. He also has never had 50 points, a 50-point season in his career. JT Miller had two 50-point seasons in one season last year. He had 100. He's a point per game player. You have to get rid of that. Victor Mancini, yeah, it sucks. He was really good at the start of the year for the Rangers, but he fell out of favor. Peter Laviolette was playing in Hartford. The Rangers aren't going to miss too much. I think they're going to keep Braden Schneider. So you have Adam Fox and Braden Schneider. You need one more guy there. They'll find him. Right now, it's Will Borgen. It's going to be Will Borgen. He's on a 5-year, $4.1 million contract extension. I don't know why I blanked out on that. So Mancini, it's going to be hard for him to get in the lineup. So you shift off two guys with a lot of upside, but you got JT Miller, who's a premium center in this league, bona fide superstar, and is making a difference game by game. This makes the New York Rangers, even if they don't make the playoffs this year, JT Miller's there next year. Artemi Panarin's there next year. There's a few other guys there next year. Vincent Trocheck, Alexi Lafreniere, Adam Fox, Igor Shesterkin. Makes their core one of the best in the league. Look, even before JT Miller, this Rangers core was one of the best in the league. That's why they were able to get to not two straight, two out of the last three Eastern Conference finals, two wins away from the Stanley Cup final in both. But there were concerns that they weren't a team built for the playoffs. That's why Tampa Bay and the Florida Panthers both sort of took it to them. The Rangers were out physical in that series in both of those in 2022 and 2024, and they were the second best team. With JT Miller, I don't know if that's the case because a lot of what the Rangers were missing there was that idea of a hard-nosed centerman that could go in and make plays, and now you have that. And so if you're the New York Rangers and you get in, teams better watch out, and they will continue contending because they have this core. Take out Mika Zibanejad, who's been playing worse, or Chris Kreider, who's been playing worse, or even some other guys. You still have JT Miller, Alexi Lafreniere is up and coming. You still have one of the best backstops in the league in Igor Shesterkin, who gives you a chance any night to win a game. You have other guys too. And the Rangers are a real team, and they'll always be a real team when you have Shesterkin and net. Miller's just another bona fide superstar. Are the Rangers going to make the playoffs this season? I don't know. It's really hard. There are 10 teams competing for two wildcard spots right now. The Rangers aren't so out of the Metropolitan Division either, besides the Washington Capitals, because they're a wagon, and I could talk about that otherwise. But it gives them a chance, and the way I'll end this right now, the New York Rangers are a significantly better hockey team now that they have JT Miller, not only for this year, but as long as he is in New York City. And last, the NBA trade deadline is officially over, and I have my phone up right now with a bunch of the superstar moves. I'm just going to read it off. There's no way I could do this off the dome. Ready? Let's do this. Mark Williams to the Lakers, Chris Middleton to the Wizards, De'Aaron Fox to the Spurs, Bogan Bogdanovic to the Los Angeles Clippers. You got DeAndre Hunter, Cleveland Cavaliers, Dennis Schroeder, Pistons. Anthony Davis to the Dallas Mavericks for Luka Doncic to the Los Angeles Lakers. That's the biggest one. Brandon Ingram, Raptors. Jimmy Butler, Warriors. You get the message. It was absolutely insane. But there was one team that really didn't make a superstar move. I mean, there were a few. The New York Knicks did not make a superstar move. And I think that's fine because you have one of the best players in the league in Jalen Brunson. In his last two games, Jalen Brunson has 70 points. He scored 28 in a win against the Toronto Raptors, 42 against the Houston Rockets a few days ago. Jalen Brunson is a bona fide superstar in this league. I don't think anybody's denying it. I still think that the New York Knicks have one of the best starting fives in the league. Jalen Brunson, we know what he brings. Karl Anthony Towns averaging 25 and 9 or something like that. Premium center in this league. Two of the best 3-and-D wings in OG Anunoby and McCall Bridges, and then you have a heart and soul guy in Josh Hart, who on some nights really scores well. I think the New York Knicks' biggest issue right now, their biggest issue, one, they haven't been defending the three well. That's why they've lose some games. And two, just their depth. Because Mitchell Robinson's been hurt, don't have a second big man. Deuce McBride, Cameron Payne, Precious Achiuwa, whoever you want to put out there, they haven't been as reliable on a day-by-day basis. But at the same time, that's why the Knicks starters all average over 35 minutes a game. Tom Thibodeau for years has been this guy that plays his starters. He's not afraid to. And as long as they stay healthy, the Knicks are formidable and they are a tough out. Right now, I'd put them at third In the Eastern Conference, still behind the Boston Celtics. Boston also didn't make a move, and the Cleveland Cavaliers, the other one. Cleveland might have gotten their missing piece in DeAndre Hunter. They got him from Phoenix. Yeah, that's a really good move. Hunter shoots the three well. He'll slot in really well with them. You pair him with Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland, Evan Mobley, Jared Allen, whoever you want to throw there. Yeah, Karis LeVert going the other way, but I think Hunter has a lot more upside on that team. I'm going to put the Knicks at 3 right now. But with their starting lineup and how reliable they are and how they play defense, yes, they have to defend the three better. You have a chance. And by the way, the New York Knicks have a guy who could take over a game on any given night like Jalen Brunson. A lot of teams cannot say that. So, look, to grade the deadline for the Knicks, they could have made a move. Yeah, sure. I'll give it like a C, C plus. But at the same time, like they didn't really need to because they have so many pieces. Depth might be a concern, but at the same time, if their starters play healthy, you know those five guys are going to be on the court come game 5 of the first round or second round or finals, whatever the Knicks get to. How far the New York Knicks go this season will be because of Jalen Brunson, Karl Anthony Towns, Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, and Josh Hart. If those guys stay healthy, the Knicks are a legitimate championship contender. If they did not stay healthy, no matter who the Knicks brought in, they were not. And so you have a guy who could take over a game like Brunson, heart and soul guys like Hart, two guys that play just incredible defense and can score in Anunoby and Bridges, and then Cat's one of the best centers in the league. The Knicks will be okay. The fact that major moves happened around them, yeah, they're notable. A lot of them in the West too, I will say, right? You a star player like Jimmy Butler leaves the East. He beat the Knicks in the playoffs 2 years ago. The Knicks are a legitimate basketball team and they have a chance as long as these guys stay healthy, and that's how I'm gonna leave it. As always, thank you so much for listening to Mozarsky Memos, guys. Please like and subscribe and tell your friends about it. It's been a lot of fun. It's been a crazy week. I got more content coming on the way. Be sure to check out all my videos on YouTube, TikTok, and Spotify. Thanks so much and have a great week.